Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share with you the actual pricing for $15,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 59-year-old female. Now, first thing I recommend is go directly to our website at funeralfunds.com. We've got these free quoters on just about every page, and all you need to do is just select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount. Put the birthday in there, put the rest of the info, click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's going to show you the best insurance companies that are going to offer the lowest rates based off your age, gender, and the state that you live in. Take full advantage of that. It's a really great benefit. You can also call us at 888-862-9456. One of our agents can help you run all the rates and help you find out what you qualify for as well. Now, one of the first things we recommend for a 59-year-old female looking for $15,000 worth of insurance is determining if $15,000 of insurance is going to cover her final expense needs. Now, final expense, we're typically talking about a cremation or a burial. Now, if you're going to get cremated, the average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. That's if you just come home in a cardboard box or an urn. If you're going to have some sort of celebration of life or remembrance ceremony in addition to the cremation, that's probably going to cost between $3,500 to $4,500, depending what part of the country you live in. So coverage, we would typically recommend right around $5,000 to $7,000. That's what most people get for that cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. Now, you might be saying, well, Randy, you said the cremation is going to be around $2,000, but you're saying get $5,000 covered. What's going on with that? Well, the thing is our 59-year-old female probably wants to make it to 69 and 79 and maybe 89. So we know that the prices of things go up over time due to inflation. So we get a little bit more coverage and we lock it in at your current youngest age. And then what that does is that gives you the best rates. And it inflation proofs your plan for the long term. But, God forbid, if you died a little sooner than you thought, and there were some extra bills that hadn't been paid off, you have a little bit more coverage in the short term to pay for things like credit card bills and medical expenses. So it works terrific. It protects both in the long run and the short run. Now, for that cremation where you're going to have that ceremony, we would typically help people with anywhere between $7,000 to $10,000. And again, we're inflation proofing it for the long term, but also protecting a little bit more coverage on the front end, just in case some things don't get paid off as quickly as you thought and you die sooner than you think. Now, for a burial, the average cost of a burial in the United States right now is right around $10,000. So if you walk into pretty much any funeral home in the United States with a $10,000 check, they'll help you get things done. It won't be anything fancy, by the way, but they should help you get done. It's hard to imagine they would say no and let you walk out the door and walk 2 blocks down the road to one of their competitors where they will take your money. Just understand it's going to be very simple, and that kind of covers the cost today. It does not inflation proof the plan at all. So what we would typically help people with is anywhere between 10 to 15,000, maybe up to 20,000, just depending on kind of how fancy or elaborate they want things. But just understand that if money's a little tight because you're on a fixed or limited income, at least get the 10,000 right now, because that takes care of your most immediate needs. We can always help you add more coverage later. Just keep in mind it's very flexible. If you wanted to start even a different amount, 12,000, 13,000, we can help you out with that. Now, we will get folks once in a while that says, hey, we want to cover final expenses, but we want to leave some money behind for our kids too. And they'll say, what would like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 be? And we give them a quote, say $50,000. And they're on a fixed or limited income, and it's just a little bit much for them. Sometimes they'll say, well, that's too much. If we can't do 50,000, we're not going to do anything at all. We have to have kind of a little meeting with them, kind of a little counseling session saying, hey, you can't come in here wanting to take care of your final expenses. And, if you don't do, at least do that, because you can't afford the 50 grand, then your kids are going to have to pay for your final expenses, your burial, all that stuff. They're probably going to have to put it on their credit cards at 26% interest. So we just really recommend people get the final expense insurance first, because that way that's taken care of. We know you're going to die. We just don't know when. That's what the insurance is for. And then if you want to, we can always come back and add separate policy that would pay out to the kids. Now, if financially you can do it all in one, go for it. But most of the people we help are on a fixed or limited income. So splitting it up is a really terrific strategy to get that done. Now, one thing we always recommend is first day coverage or benefits. We never recommend those 2-year waiting period plans if you can qualify for first day coverage or benefits. And what that first day coverage benefits means is, hypothetically, if your plan were issued and approved today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to write that check for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000. It's going to be the best coverage and it's going to be the lowest pricing. Now, sometimes people would say, well, Randy, you're right. I do want that first day coverage, but I'm not in the best of health. And I know they ask health questions. So, just how do I know if I'm going to get approved? And we say, well, that's not your problem. That's our problem, at least from an insurance underwriting standpoint. And that's why we work with so many different insurance companies. All the different companies have different health questions. They all have different underwriting. And really, right about 95% of the time, we're getting people approved for first day coverage or benefits. That's exactly what you want. Really, the only reason we wouldn't be able to get first day coverage is if you waited too long and you had some significant health issues going on. Like maybe you had a terminal illness and you weren't going to live another 12 months, or you had dementia, or you on dialysis or in a hospital or a nursing home. If that were the case, we'd typically refer you out to a different insurance company. Another thing that seems to happen at least once a week is somebody will give us a call and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week and they didn't have insurance. We don't have any money. Their body's down at the funeral home. The funeral home director's not going to do anything till he gets money in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so we can get the money from the insurance company to give the funeral home director. And we have to let them know that there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to offer a policy on a dead person. You actually have to be alive to qualify for this insurance. And it's really sad that their family member passed away. It's doubly sad that they didn't have the insurance. They knew they were going to die someday. They probably thought about getting this insurance in the past, and they didn't do it. They waited and waited and waited and waited until one day they just done went and died. And now their family's having to clean up this financial mess. And typically, family members are going to have to put this on credit cards, 26% interest, and it's going to take them years and years and years to pay off. What a terrible legacy to leave behind. I mean, you could have done everything else right in life, and you messed this one thing up, and that's how you're going to be remembered. So don't be that person. Just get this insurance. It's affordable. If you need to, you can start smaller. We can always help you add more coverage later. But yeah, don't leave a terrible legacy behind of not paying for this and forcing others to pay for your bills. Yeah, just don't do that. So one thing we also don't recommend is those plans with 2-year waiting periods. And Colonial Penn, fairly well-known company, I think probably just because they advertise so much for that $9.95 plan. Seems like it's on TV every 7 minutes. I mean, you may not know this, but their $9.95 plan, that is a 2-year waiting period plan. That's right. It won't pay out any insurance death benefit if you die of a health or medical reason in the first 2 years. You should never accept a 2-year waiting period if you qualify for first day coverage. Now, they're not the only company that offers those plans. There's other companies out there too, like Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, Gerber, AIG, gosh, so many other different companies. And some of these companies have done an amazing job convincing the American public that if they're over age 50, the only thing they're going to qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period, to which we always say, don't believe such nonsense, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Now, our female, age 59, probably just got done watching one of those Colonial Penn $9.95 commercials. And she's probably thinking to herself, man, that's such a great commercial. And the pricing's so low, $9.95. At age 59, I'm probably going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000 for $9.95. And then she talks with a Colonial Penn agent, or she gets on their website, like we've done for you, and checks out prices and sees that a female age 59 for 1 unit of coverage, which is $9.95, is only going to pay out $1,565. Now, that's probably enough for a cremation in most parts of the country as of this time right now. But it doesn't matter because it's got a 2-year waiting period, and it's not going to pay out any death benefit if you die from a health or medical reason in the first 2 years. So why would you ever get a policy like that it's not going to take care of what you need? And of course, that is $1,565 is not enough for a burial. Holy guacamole. So, I mean, there's some people out there that say that, companies like this that offer these really low teaser rates, that they do that. They advertise those not because they want to sell you that low price plan. In fact, they're happy to show you how minimal the coverage is on those plans, because then they try to pitch you a higher price plan that's much more profitable for them. And we would never say that Colonial Penn would ever do anything like that, but some people are fairly convinced of that, I guess. And I guess you'll have to determine that for yourself just by considering that you're only going to get $1,565 for $995. So, but the purpose of this video is to look at 15,000. So we got to play around with the units here to see what's going to be 15,000. Is that like 10 units or 11 units or 12 units? I guess we're probably around 10 units, 10 times. There we go. Yeah. So, with Colonial Penn, you can't get $15,000 on the nose because they sell it by the unit. That's how they come up with that $995 per unit. And you always end up with wackadoodle numbers like 15650 instead of 15,000. But that's just the way they do it. But, here's the charge for it. Like right around $100. So let's do this. Let's go check out some first day coverage and see what that pricing would be. So here we go. 15,000 for a female, age 59. And we're going to click get quote. We're going to go back and double check this again. That's 15,000 for $100. Let's see what we get this for. Here it is. I'm going to show you this again. 15,000 right there. So we can get 15,000 in level coverage, which means first day coverage. And that's only going to be $45.20. So what would you rather have? Would you rather have $15,000 in first day coverage for $45? Or would you rather have 15,000 roughly with a 2-year waiting period for right around $100? What we typically see with Colonial Penn is on average, they're about 200% higher than our first day coverage companies. So why would you ever do that? Because this is like $55 more a month to go with Colonial Penn than this. So let's do the math on that. I mean, if $55, you're going to overpay $55 a month on the Colonial Penn policy every single month for the rest of your life. But let's just kind of take this out a little bit here. So let's do it by a year. So you've got $55 a month times 12 months. That's going to be right around $660. And if our 59-year-old female lives to age 69, 10 years, so that you would end up overpaying right around $6,600 more on a $15,000 policy. So why would you ever do that? Why would you ever get into a policy from the very first day that if you live an extra 10 years, you're going to overpay roughly $6,600 more? Why would you ever do that? I mean, why would you not just go to one of these other companies and get more coverage for the same amount of money as Colonial Penn? But bottom line is, if you want to save money, we can save you money, right? After 10 years, this would save $6,600. And we'd rather see that money in your pocket rather than that money go into an insurance company's pocket. We'd rather see you enjoy your hard-earned money than insurance company executives enjoy your hard-earned money. But let's look at some other companies here too, because you'll be able to see all these different companies in the quarter that you pull up. So like Lumico, roughly $10 more or less. Level coverage. But yeah, $10 more a month, that's $120 a year. After 10 years, you'll overpay $1,200. I don't know. Would you ever open up your wallet and just throw $1,200 on the ground and walk away? That's kind of what you do when you overpay for this insurance. Keep that money in your own pocket. Let's see here. Let's do another one here. Find another one here. Oh, here we go. So Lincoln Heritage, they're a fine company, I guess, but their pricing's higher. Look at that. Like $20 higher a month. It is level coverage, but $20 a month higher. Well, why is it higher? Well, they've got a deal where when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2 or 3 funeral homes to get the best pricing, maybe do some other things. But I mean, they charge for that. It's not free. They charge for that. It's like $20 extra a month. Think about that. 65 versus 45, $20. So $20 a month times 12 months is an extra $240 a year. If our 59-year-old female lives to age 69, you have overpaid right around $2,400. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth paying an insurance company like Lincoln Heritage an extra $2,400 to make 2 or 3 phone calls and do a couple other things that may only take an hour or so to do? A lot of people would say, that's a pretty darn tootin' good payday for the insurance company, about $2,400 an hour. But we don't recommend that. We recommend you keep that money in your own pocket, right? Don't keep that in your bank account. Don't give that to an insurance company's bank account. What we recommend is let us help you get qualified and approved for the lower price, the lowest price. And then what we actually offer is a free funeral and estate planning guide. You can download that off our website and print it out. And once it's printed out, just fill it out. You write down who gets what and what goes where and what you want to happen after you pass away. And then you keep that with your insurance policy. And then when you pass away, your family members know where to go, and they're going to see that you protected them financially with the insurance policy and emotionally with the funeral and estate planning guide. Because all they'll need to do is open that funeral and estate planning guide and start reading, and then just execute your wishes. And they'll know that you are not only loving and protecting them your whole life in life, but you also loved and protected them that one last time in death, exactly when they would need it the most, when they need your help the most, when you're not here to actually help them. But that's what the final expense policy and the funeral and estate planning guide do. What a wonderful legacy to leave behind. Just your family will know that you loved and protected them. So if you want to leave that legacy behind, we can help you. Go to funeralfunds.com. We've actually got a free quoter specifically for our YouTube visitors, funeralfunds.com/YouTube. And we can get you the best insurance companies at the lowest rates with the best discounts. It's terrific. Take advantage of it. Also, 888-862-9456. One of our agents can help you out with this, any questions you have. But if you've got an existing policy and you just want to see if we can save you money or add coverage to your policy, we can help you out with that. If you're looking for a brand new policy or you just have questions about what you may qualify for or anything else, we can help you out with that. But we look forward to that day when we can help you get the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, and you have a nice day. Bye-bye.